Here comes the field for tonight's seventh race. Twin Trifecta Exchange, Exacting Trifecta Wagering, number one, Applaudable. Owned by Barbara Mitchell, driven by Jeff Smith. 2, Max Public Enemy, owned by Charlie Dillender with Larry Binkley. 3 is Mr. Precious, owned by Ralph Lunsford. Ralph Lunsford drives. Number 4 is Roughhausen, owned by Enlo Atkinson. Ron Powell will be aboard. 5 is Pay Thee, owned by Robert Henry. Darren Mauser will be in the bike. 6, Gerald's Falcon, owned by Donald Lane with Del S. Miller. 7 is Badlands Dirk, owned and driven by Charles Conrad. 8 is Howdy Hanover, owned by Clarence Hand with David Hawk. 9, Crown Time Boulder, owned by Esther Crownover with Dan Ader. 10 is Good and Great, owned by Ted and Frisia Roop. Ted Roop will be in the sulky. Field for the seventh race, Exacting Trifecta Wagering, post time in 6 minutes. Field for 7 is at the gate and moving through the clubhouse turn. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Badlands Dirk on the far outside takes the lead. Mr. Precious quickly between horses takes over. Mr. Precious by a half a length. Here's Badlands Dirk up on the outside second. Applaudable away nicely to third. Pay Thee parked out there fourth. Howdy Hanover closing nicely to fifth. Midway on the turn, Max Public Enemy is next. 2 more lengths in the Roughhausen. Gerald's Falcon is eighth on the outside. Next in line, Good and Great, and at the end, it's Crown Time Boulder, 27-3, racing past the stands to the half-mile pole. Mr. Precious commands the field by a length and a half. Mr. Precious leads the way. On his heels in second, Badlands Dirk. Applaudable is third. Here comes the outer tier led by Howdy Hanover up on the outside. Max Public Enemy is now charging to fifth. Pay Thee stays in. Roughhausen comes to the outside. Out of the second tier, Good and Great. Racing in ninth. Crown Time Boulder, the trailer is Gerald's Falcon. They're at the half, 58-1. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Mr. Precious is there by a half a length. Howdy Hanover is up on the outside, second and challenging. Along the rail, Badlands Dirk skims the pylons third. Max Public Enemy is fourth. Along the rail, Applaudable is fifth. Catching the bus on the outside, Roughhausen, as they move into three quarters. Here comes Crown Time Boulder, Gerald's Falcon, Pay Thee, and Good and Great. They're hub to hub as they move by three quarters in 127-4. Howdy Hanover on the outside, gets the lead, but he's not home free yet. It's Howdy Hanover, he is under the whip. Better keep your eye on the 6 and 9. They're absolutely flying on the far outside. They're into the stretch, and Dave Hawk is all over Howdy Hanover. In between horses, Max Public Enemy. Here's Gerald's Falcon up on the outside and Crown Time Boulder. But it's Max Public Enemy number one to the wire. Crown Time Boulder second. Roughhausen came flying late for third. Here's the unofficial winner number 2, Max Public Enemy. 3-year-old bay colt by Whitson's Mac out of Mrs. Betty Rodney. Owned and trained in Louisville, Kentucky by Charlie Dillender. Hard driven tonight by Larry Binkley. Covering the mile here in 158-2 to establish a lifetime best. Number 2, Max Public Enemy, the unofficial winner. Result of race 7 is now official. Number 6, Gerald's Falcon, was fourth. Post time for the 8th, Exacting Trifecta Wagering, for $13,564. Exacta 78.40. Trifecta 20.